and welcome to another tarot reading from me. So today's reading by popular demand is going to be about who is your future spouse. As usual, I will mention that I have chosen these crystals intuitively from my collection while meditating upon the question of which crystals should I use for this particular topic. And these are the crystals that came out in this particular order. So this is for those of you who would like to choose with just crystals. Pile number 1, you have this bottle of citrine and amethyst. Pile number 2, you have this black onyx crystal. Pile number 3, you have this blue calcite crystal. Okay, so you can pause the video if you need more time to decide. As usual, my recommendation is that you take some deep breaths, meditate upon the question, exhale longer than you inhale. That will help center you and calm you down. With your eyes closed for a few seconds, and then open your eyes and choose the first pile that stands out to you intuitively without overthinking it. If you feel drawn to more than one, feel free to watch several or even all of them and just take whichever messages resonate. Before I sign off, I will remind you to please subscribe to my channel if you have found value in any of my readings. It will only take a second and it is free, and also consider clicking on the notifications bell if you want to see when I will post a new video. Thank you. I will see you at your reading. Okay, so this is for those of you who would like to choose with a card as well as a crystal. I'm going to use these wild unknown archetypes again, which are so hard to shuffle, but I really like them. So, yes, anyway. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1, the people who chose the amethyst and citrine crystal bottle. Who is their future spouse? Tell me, Spirit, who is pile number 1's future spouse? Spirit, what can you tell me for pile number 2, the people who chose the black onyx crystal? Who is their future spouse? Who is pile number 2's future spouse, Spirit? Spirit, what can you tell me for pile number 3, the people who chose the blue calcite? Who is their future spouse? Anything you can tell me about this this person? Okay, tell me. Who is pile number 3's? Who is pile number 3's future spouse? Tell me, Spirit. Who is pile number 3's future spouse? This one feels right. Let's see what we have. Pile number 1. We have number 37 with the desert. Pile number 2, we have, this is the 48, the underworld. So matching for the black onyx. And pile number 3, we have the comic with number 26. Okay. Let me zoom in a little bit. So this is for those of you who would like to choose with a card as well as a crystal. These are your options. Pile number 1, you have this card over here and or this bottle of citrine and amethyst crystal. Pile number 2, you have this pile over here and or this black onyx crystal. Okay. Pile number 3, you have this card over here and or this blue calcite crystal. So these are your options. Let me arrange them a little bit. Okay. These are your options. Once again, you can pause the video if you need more time to decide. My recommendation is that you take some time to meditate upon the question with your eyes closed while taking deep breaths, exhaling longer than you inhale. That will help center you and calm you down. You can also address the question to a higher power like God or some kind of a spiritual guide that you follow, or the universe, or however you want to call it. And then open your eyes and choose the first pile that stands out to you intuitively without overthinking it. So before I sign off, I will also remind you to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Most of the people who regularly watch my videos are not subscribed to my channel, so please do. It will only take a second and it is free. And also consider clicking the notifications bell if you want to see when I will upload a new tarot reading. Thank you, and I will see you at your reading. So welcome pile number 1. This is your reading if you have chosen this card, the Desert, with number 37, which actually boils down to a number 1 in numerology, which is ruled by the sun, and or this bottle of citrine and amethyst. So you can skip directly to the interpretation because I will be taking my time to select the cards. Let's see. Spirit, not gonna start with these. Wait. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1, the people who chose the amethyst and citrine bottle. Who is their future spouse? Tell me everything you can about the person they're going to marry next. Okay, who is their future spouse? Who is their future spouse, Spirit? Tell me. I'm not sure about this one. Who is pile number 1's future spouse, Spirit? Yeah, I don't know. Why is it so hard to... This one feels right. Six of Swords. Six of Swords, Two of Wands, the Hierophant, Ace of Pentacles, Four of Swords, the Magician. Let's see. Let me try to arrange this. Gosh, it's so hard to do the lighting thing. I don't have anything more professional, so it's gonna have to do. Okay. Continuing. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. Who is their future spouse? The person they're going to marry next. Tell me everything you would like to, anything you can share about this person. I would be very grateful, Spirit. This card really stands out. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Page of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Swords. The Moon. And the Five of Cups. All right, let me get some oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. Who is this person they're going to marry next? All right, we have Decisions. Spirit, who is this person that pile number 1 is going to marry next? Yeah, this one. Bison, Ritual 35. Who is this person that pile number 1 is going to marry next, Spirit? Tell me. Tell me, Spirit. The Squirrel and the Chestnut, Preparation. All right. Number 29. The Chestnut and the Squirrel. That actually makes sense. But, okay. Not going to get too quickly into it. Let me just take the cards in a little bit. So what I can see is some pretty strong Saturn energy here. And also the moon came out as well. So what I see with this person is that they are a pretty cautious individual, pretty mature-minded, someone who really likes to properly weigh in the pros and cons of any situation before they make a decision. I see that this person is probably very steady. I'm not seeing someone who likes to throw themselves headfirst into anything. Definitely someone who likes, let's say, predictability, for lack of a better word. We do have a very strong moon energy, which gives me an energy of preservation and also self-preservation, most importantly. We have this repeatedly with the moon and the squirrel card, the squirrel and the chestnut, which has the word preparation on it, and it also comes with the number 29, which boils down to a number 11, which boils down to a number 2, which is the number of the moon. So this is a very strong moon energy over here, as well as some Saturn with the number 8 and the bison and ritual. And yeah, with ritual, it's very eerie, actually, that we have the word ritual and this woman that kind of looks like a shaman here. And then we also have the magician card right at the end of the deck with the 5 of Cups underneath. Yeah. There's maybe something a bit scorpionic about this person as well. This is definitely a person who's kind of like, for lack of a better word or a better explanation, a very strong manifester. This is a person who has some kind of a plan for the future. This is someone who likes to plan ahead, probably 10 steps ahead. I'm seeing someone who is very cautious, like I said. But this is probably also a person who has gone through a lot of ups and downs. Most likely, I'm not getting that this is someone who likes change, to be honest. It's more like they have had to adapt to a lot of change. I'm seeing, you know, especially with the Wheel of Fortune coming out here, basically on the first position underneath the 6 of Swords. Yes, this person has gone through quite a few ups and downs. They have gone through some maybe painful situations, definitely very challenging situations. One message for some of you, definitely not for everyone, it could be that this is someone who has already been married, has already had maybe even children. Because there is kind of this feeling of a second try here. This could also be someone with strong Punarvasu placements, Punarvasu Nakshatra from Vedic Astrology, which is a Jupiter-ruled nakshatra, which connects to teachings. And there's also this energy connected to Punarvasu about succeeding on the second try. So this is what I'm getting. Like, this could be someone who has learned some things through trial and error. But I'm also seeing someone who is pretty established, to be honest. I'm seeing someone who has a pretty stable financial situation. And that's most likely entirely due to their own efforts, to their ability to plan. Yeah, because again, I'm not seeing a risk taker. We also have the Queen of Swords here. There could be some strong air placement with decisions here. There could be like, I'm gonna see also what I get through the astrological notes because that might give more clarity, but this could either mean that this person hovers a lot before making a decision. They could be maybe a little bit inconsistent sometimes, you know, or hot and cold. But it could also be so moody, basically in one word. But this could also be about indecisiveness on a purely intellectual level because they want to carefully ponder all the pros and cons of a situation, which could mean maybe Libra placements as well. What I'm also seeing is that this person is very, very thoughtful, very deep, you know, very strong emotional intelligence, a strong insight into human nature. This person cares a lot about things like family traditions, family comma traditions, you know, also maybe family traditions without the comma. This is a person who is more emotionally driven than I think they come across at first sight. I mean, look at this. There's like this strong, you know, this makes me think of like those creepy like movies from, you know, like the creepy movies, you know, with the mob and stuff where they bury bodies in the desert or something. So like this makes me think that this person, not that they're a gangster or anything, it's just that they may have gone through some significant rebirth at some point, or they have just gone through really rough situations in the past where they felt like they had to start from scratch, maybe more than once. I definitely see that this person right now is moving away from some painful situation. They're slowly pulling themselves and moving to a situation of more stability and more positivity. But they could have recently gone through something very, how should I put it? Very, something that produced a lot of chaos in their lives, you know, a lot of turmoil. So this is why I'm also maybe getting a little bit of Scorpio energy. I also think that this person right now is, well, at the moment when you see this reading, they're moving away from maybe being hyper materialistic, focused on financial security and being hyper rational, into maybe being a little bit softer and wanting to enjoy life and wanting to share what they have with the people they love. But at the same time, they're still very eyes on the prize. Like this is someone who has a very long-term plan, you know, someone who never loses sight of what they really want in the grand scheme of things. Okay, let me get some astrological cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. Who is this person's future spouse? Who is pile number 1's future spouse? I feel like another indicator that this is someone with strong Saturn is the fact that it's taking me so long to find the right cards for you. Tell me, Spirit. Who is this person's future spouse? Tell me, Spirit. Like this happened during the first shuffling phase as well. Okay, we have Aquarius. So there is the Queen of Swords energy. There's also Rahu, and Rahu, or the North Node of the Moon, as it's called in tropical, or Saturn energy as well, because we have both of them in Aquarius. We also have 12th house, spirituality and art. So that explains the magician, maybe the mystical side. We have Aries, the combative. I did say Scorpio, but both of them, Aries and Scorpio, are ruled by Mars. So there's that. We have Gemini, the communicative, and we have sextile, chance, and opportunity. Oh my God, I'm sorry if you hear the noise. There's some party going on in the neighborhood or something, and people are singing and drunk. Anyway, so what I'm seeing here is a person who, like I said, so this is actually four of Swords energy as well, with the moon underneath. This person could definitely have a very intuitive, mystical side to them. They could be someone who is heavily influenced by the subconscious. And they can be more like, I feel like this is someone who might be more emotional and more intuitive than they want to believe about themselves. Like they might be someone who thinks of themselves as a very rational person, but they're actually heavily influenced by emotions. And I feel like it's especially connected to the moon, which means like, you know, matters of the heart, like, you know, people they love, their family, maybe their mother is especially influential in shaping their personality and who they are. This could also be someone with the 12th house who works in something to do with religion, with spirituality, Could be something to do with travel. Also, anything connected to the subconscious, like psychology or working with energies, like energy healing. Also, export, import stuff, anything involving the sea as well. Or something like working with sleeping problems, you know, like sleep cycles and stuff like that. Or they could be really interested in these things. Maybe it's not something they make a living out of. This is also someone who's really independent with the Aquarius, very original, someone who thinks for themselves. There is a lot of, I was going to say swords, but yeah, air energy, swords energy is the same thing. So this person definitely has a very strongly intellectual side. They're probably very curious. They probably like to learn about a lot of different subjects. Maybe they like to keep reading and staying informed all the time. They're also someone who is good at communication. They can be a bit of a social butterfly as well. I feel like this is the kind of person that seems pretty approachable for the most part, but they probably have like a pretty, how should I put it, superficial, I don't want to say superficial charm because that sounds really negative, but you know, someone who is good at seeming very friendly and open, but if you actually try to get close to them, they really don't open up easily. With Aries, I'm also getting very strong aggression, very strong leadership ability, also a lot of masculine energy. So this is a person who has a blend of masculine and feminine qualities, but if I had to choose between one of them, I would say it's slightly more masculine than feminine because there's more air and fire, but we also have a strong moon energy as well. So this person is also very nurturing, very sensitive, very creative. Like I said, they could be moody. And this is also probably someone who likes to travel, or they travel a lot for their work. They could also have some contact with foreign lands, maybe coming from a different country or a different culture because of the 12th house influence. Or this could be someone that you meet online, or you can meet them when you're traveling to a faraway land, like even a different continent or the other end of the continent, something like that, like pretty far away from where you live. Or it could be the other way around, like they're traveling from a faraway place when they meet you. Okay, this is pretty much what I'm seeing here. Also, this person is really friendly and could be humanitarian minded. You know, they could be into social causes and stuff. But I'm also seeing this like very independent, self-motivated energy, very competitive as well. Potentially a bit aggressive. Like this could be someone who struggles to be tactful, even though they may really want to be tactful. And with a sextile, chance and opportunity, I feel like this is a person who just knows how to make the most of the opportunities that come forward for them. It makes me think of that quote, I think it was by Oprah, really, who said it, that success is the meeting of hard work with opportunity, something like that. I feel like Marilyn, I'm pretty sure that Marilyn said something similar at some point, that she worked hard so that if the right opportunity comes, she will be prepared. So I'm seeing the same kind of mentality here, a pretty Saturnian person, you know, someone who's really hardworking, disciplined, determined, someone who really believes that they are in control of their own fate and they alone can make things happen. Okay, let me get some more stuff. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. Who is their future spouse? Who is this person that they're gonna marry next? Whoa, and we have another winner. Check this out. Number 12 again. Oh my god, Aries again. And the final confirmation, Saturn. Yes, thank you, Spirit, for paying attention to my little soiree here. Anyway, so very strong confirmations, pretty much everything that I've said multiplied by the power of 2. So even more masculine energy, very disciplined person, very hardworking. Speaking of the gangster theme though, all right, this is definitely not for everyone, and it may not be true for this person at the moment that you meet them, but this could even be a person who has gone through a time when they have gone against society, because Saturn is debilitated in Aries, and it could be like maybe they have gone against society, maybe they have even, you know, broken some laws at some point. You know, I'm just saying it is a possibility. I'm not saying that it's for everyone, but, and also the 12th house shows places of isolation, including prisons, is, you know, hopefully not. I hope that you're not going to date someone who's a criminal, but I just, it could be like, this gives me, you know what this makes me think of? Like, if you've ever seen that movie, The 25th Hour, it's like it's a pretty old movie. I think it's from the early 2000s, maybe even the 90s, with Edward Norton. And he plays like this drug dealer who was about to go down. Like, basically he was told that he was going to be arrested and basically decides at the last moment to run away. Run away and basically change everything, like change his life, you know, live a very simple life after living as a drug dealer, you know, basically starting his life all over and, you know, having a decent existence as a normal citizen. Again, I'm not saying that this is the case for this person, but maybe this is a person who at some point kind of had, let's say, bad company, or maybe they had a troubled phase in their lives, you know, where they seemed like they were not going on the right path, like they were not on the right path. They could really make sense with the Six of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. And it could even be that they have gone through something, some kind of a sudden event that made them change their ways and like take on a very decent, hardworking approach. With the 12th house coming out repeatedly, there is a strong theme that this person could be coming from a faraway place. There's also a strong theme of spirituality, or like I said, it could be places of confinement. So maybe this person works with asylums. I don't know. Could be anything that involves people being locked up. So they could be working with psych wards, hospitals, prisons, religious organizations. I don't know, like churches and other places of worship. Or it could be like spiritual retreats, for instance. They could also actually be working in a field that is connected to spirituality. Now I'm actually curious if I'm going to get some Punarvasu energy, because that would really be the cherry on top of this reading. Because Punarvasu is also very connected to, you know, religion and spirituality and teachers especially, but especially like spiritual teachers or people who are like involved in the legal system, lawyers, things that have to do with morality. Yeah, and the Saturn energy, like I said, this person is very, very serious, you know, very serious, very stable. This is someone who has been through a lot. And like I said, this is not someone who was raised with a silver spoon at their mouth. I don't think so. This is someone who has had to really work hard for what they have. Nobody gave them anything. And Saturn also can show that there might be a significant age difference between the two of you. But even if that is not the case, it could just be that, again, this person is really mature-minded. So even if they are younger than you, let's say this is someone who's very serious. And it could be also that this person has had to work from a young age. And that has really forced them to grow up, you know. And they definitely know the value of hard work, is what I'm saying. All right, let me get some charms. Spirit, what can you tell me about this person that pile number 1 is going to marry next? Who is this person? Who is pile number 1's future spouse? Okay, wow. Wow. Oh my God. Oh. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh my God. I'm seeing 2 skeletons. Oh, speaking of skeletons, holy crap. Look at this. Spirit is really paying attention. So we have 1, 2 skeletons, okay? It could be like, it makes me think of like Eminem's Cleaning Out My Closet. It also makes me think of this person could have skeletons in their closet, you know, maybe, again, could feed into the same theme that they might have something strange going on in their past. The swords coming out twice, this is reinforced Aries energy. So this person could have a very combative side. Maybe they're even into something like fighting. Maybe they're into some kind of self-defense or martial arts or something. And also with the Aries coming out twice, this person is very competitive and they're probably really into physical stuff, you know. like they need to exercise. And we have love with the locket. I always say this when this charm comes out, it makes me think of Love Locked Down by Kanye West. And it makes me think, and also with the 12th house, this is what I was thinking just now. We have the 12th house coming out twice, and there's also an element of secrecy here. So what this makes me think of is that this could be a person, also with the Two of Wands that came out. This could be a person that you already know, or you may have already met this person and had a crush on them, but you were not able to get together for whatever reason. This could be one scenario. Or it could be someone admiring you from a distance, you know. But there might be some element of forbidden something about this connection, you know, like maybe you can't get together right away because there are some obstacles in your path. And one or both of you might be keeping your affections a secret for a significant period of time before you open up. And we have a butterfly, which again shows transformation. So yes, this person is going through some kind of significant, or will go at some point in their lifetime through significant transformation. We have more Pisces 12th house themes with blessed and imagine. Yeah, so I really feel like this person has gone through some kind of a situation where they had some kind of a spiritual awakening. Like maybe they had a change of heart about something, some kind of a massive transformation in their outlook on life, where I'm really getting that theme of the 25th hour. I do recommend watching that movie because it was a good movie. I don't remember it entirely because it was a long time ago, but it was a good movie. And we have this, which makes me think of Adiemos by Enya for some reason. It's a Celtic sign. I'm not sure if it means anything, but I'm pretty sure the motif is very Celtic. So maybe this is really specific for some of you. Maybe this person comes from some kind of a Celtic origin. Like maybe they're from the UK. Maybe they have Irish heritage. Or I know the Celts were also in like Portugal and some other areas, even France. So maybe there's a connection to these areas. They have some kind of a Celtic background that's really specific. Or maybe they're just, maybe they're interested in something to do with Celtic culture or something. Like they're learning about druids or something. We also have this fishbone, which again makes me think of more Pisces energy, but it also makes me think of Saturn because Saturn rules bones. There's a lot of bones here. Yeah. I also feel like there could be an element of luck with respect to how you meet this person. Like some kind of serendipity situation. Yeah, like the universe will conspire to bring you together, or you will meet when you least expect to. Like you're not looking to meet someone when you meet this person. Okay, this is what I'm getting here. And I've also pulled out my astrological notes. Let me see what comes out. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. Who is their future spouse? Who is this person? Who is this person that pile number 1 is gonna marry? Wow, okay. There's a lot of stuff coming out. Obviously, I'm reading for a lot of people, so I'm going to get a lot of different energies. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's see. Let me start with the yellow ones. So, we have Aquarius twice. Wow. Okay, Aquarius coming out twice. Aries coming out twice. Yeah, this person is really independent. They could be unusual. We also have Mercury, which is more Gemini energy. So Mercury is also connected to communication, like I said, and business. This could also be a further indication that you will meet online, and this person is a very good communicator. We also have Leo, not surprising because the first card boils down to a number 1, which is ruled by Leo in numerology. So this person, yeah, some strong sun energy. This person could be pretty determined, could be in a leadership position. Wow, okay. We also have some Jupiter. So I did expect the Jupiter. That's Pisces, Sagittarius energy. We also have some Venus, okay. And we have Ketu, the South Node, which is the co-ruler of Scorpio. So Ketu makes sense with the magician and ritual and all this. So, like I said, there could be something really mystical about this person. Oh my God, there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Bingo. So Punarvasu, like I said, I'm not surprised that I got it. Okay, we have Uttarashadha, which is ruled by the sun, falls in Sagittarius and Capricorn. We also have Mula. Here we have more Ketu energy falling in Sagittarius. And by the way, if you think that I pulled out a lot of these, there are 27 nakshatras, so it's not a lot. Purva Ashadha falling in Sagittarius. So a lot of Sagittarius, a lot of Jupiter, because we have Sagittarius, Pisces. We have Kritika, which is ruled by the sun as well. That explains the sword coming out twice, and also Aries. Maybe this, because Kritika actually falls in Aries and Taurus. So maybe this person has placements in the Aries side of Kritika. We have Ashlesha falling in Cancer, ruled by Mercury, more Mercury energy. We have Ardra falling in Gemini, ruled by Rahu. Okay, this person's a wild child. Very unpredictable. Dhanishta falling in Capricorn and Aquarius, ruled by Mars. Very hardworking, makes sense with Dhanishta. And we have Hasta falling in Virgo, ruled by the moon. Whoops. So let's break down all the different messages. Of course, bear in mind that I'm reading for multiple people, so I'm probably going to see, so I'm going to try to look at all the different energies that I'm seeing here more in depth, but of course, take whichever messages resonate, and of course, they're not all going to apply for every one of you. So, like I said, with Jupiter and Ketu, this person is a very spiritual person. Very spiritual. With Ketu, there could be a past life connection between the two of you. There could be some feeling of deja vu when you meet for the first time. Or there could just be like this really strong emotional reaction when you meet them for the first time. Just bear in mind that that does not necessarily mean some kind of a past life connection. Sometimes people who have childhood traumas, for instance, when they see someone that reminds them of the person who traumatized them, they could have a very strong emotional reaction. So that does not mean past life connection. That just means you have unresolved emotional issues, just as a small disclaimer. So with past life connections, this could be a person that, let's say, is the kind of person that doesn't resemble anyone you've ever met in your life on any plane, neither physically, neither emotionally, neither through behavior. And you just have this very strong feeling like maybe you have seen this person before, or they just have this like instant feeling of familiarity or comfort about them. That could be a deja vu. Or some kind of a strong emotional reaction, like I said, but one that cannot be explained through traumas or anything like that. This is also a person who is very mysterious. They could be someone who's into mystical stuff without saying anything about it. I also feel like they could be really religious with all this 12th house coming through. But, and also with Saturn. I think I've mentioned this in definitely my astrology channel, which I recommend, and I will be linking in the video description for those who are curious about astrology. I mentioned there that people who are Saturn dominant really take comfort in organized religion. So I wouldn't be surprised if this person were involved with some organized religion and that religion plays a huge part in their lives, because we also have Jupiter and Saturn coming out strongly repeatedly. So this is pretty much the prototype of someone who really cares about religion. But even if they're not in an organized religion, they're someone who is very spiritual, who probably likes to ponder, the big questions of life, the meaning of life, likes to read a lot, maybe likes to read about philosophy. They're very curious. They also like to stay youthful at heart, keep learning different things. With Venus showing up, this person also, so Venus and Mercury both together definitely shows that this person can be really good with money. I wouldn't be able to say if this is like someone who is like self-employed or something like that, just based on these indicators that came through. But this person is likely very good at managing their finances. They know, let's say, about investing. They probably have multiple sources of income. They really know how to multiply money, and they could even be business savvy, like maybe they have some kind of a business. And Venus also shows a person who loves the finer things in life. They probably like good food and sensuality. They have a hedonistic streak. They probably are also good looking, above average good looking, because Venus is very sensuous. They could also have a really nice face. Traditionally pretty features. They could have nice skin, nice hair. They could also have a really nice voice. And with Leo and Aquarius, yeah, this person is like hovering back and forth between having a pretty strong ego, but then also wanting to be humanitarian and doing stuff for others. So I guess it depends on which mood you find them. Yeah, the moodiness. We also have Ardra here, which is a very kind of wild sort of energy. This person could really like nature. They could like to spend a lot of time in nature. They might have pets and really care about animals. They could even be working with animals for some of you. And they may really like forests. That's another thing. And they could be really into technology, meditation. There's something of a misunderstood genius about them. With Mula, they could be into research. They could also really care about history, archaeology, genetics, understanding their origins, understanding the past. But with Mula showing up there could also be an indicator that they haven't had a lot of support from the family of origin, I feel, for many of them. Purva Ashadha can also show that they're also Kritika, Purva Ashadha basically, and also Darishta to some extent. Also Ardra. This could show that this person has a temper, to be honest. I'm not surprised with Aries coming out twice and the sword coming out twice. So this is someone who is like a force to be reckoned with, especially if you piss them off. I feel like it's also a very unpredictable with them because on the surface they can come across as very calm and controlled. And for the most part, they probably are. It's just that this person has much more intense emotions than they let on. And they can really be prone to anger, especially with Kritika and Purvashadha. They might really like to argue, sometimes just for the sake of arguing, for instance. They might even be working in things to do with weapons or, like I said, defense, self-defense, stuff like that. Maybe they could be involved with the military for some of you. The military or the police or any kind of situation where they have to work with fire and weapons. They could really like the sea. So this is coming out multiple times. Also with the 12th house coming out twice. And also with Purvashadha, which is connected to the sea. Maybe they like fish tanks or something. Yeah, also with Aquarius coming out twice. Fish tank could be a thing. But they might really like the sea. They could especially like mermaid images. For some of you, this person could have wavy hair, kind of like a mermaid, or the way the mermaids are depicted in a lot of romantic pictures, you know, wavy hair. And most likely a long oval face. They could have a prominent jawline, though, a prominent jawline, maybe a bit of a squarish jawline. For some of you, this person could also have a face shape like an inverted triangle. So the jawline could be slightly slimmer than the like cheekbones or the top area of the face. Their eyes could have something greenish in them, like a greenish hue, whether it's hazel or maybe they even have green eyes. Their hands can also really stand out, their hands and their arms. Maybe they have really nice hands, or you could see them using their hands a lot and expressing themselves, or maybe they do something that involves using the hands a lot, like doing craft work. I don't know, maybe they're doing Reiki or something, healing with their hands. Maybe they like carpentry. Could be all kinds of stuff, you know, but you will often see them working with their hands. And it could also be like their hands really stand out somehow, like they could have nice hands, like I said. They could also really like food and cooking. And they could also really like music that has a lot of drums in it. You know, they could also be good at dancing. We also have Ashlesha here. So yeah, for some of you, this person could definitely be good at dancing. You know, they could be interested in dancing. They could be pretty graceful in moving themselves. And also with the Danishta and Ashlesha, they will definitely have a nice body. Like, and they're probably the kind of person that comes across as very physically attractive, you know, to a lot of people. They definitely look fit and strong, I'm seeing here for most of you, okay? I'm not seeing like a fragile physique here with this combination of energies. They might, like I said, for many of you, this person could really be into, you know, maybe going to the gym a lot, or even doing things like boxing or fighting or something, some kind of stuff like that, self-defense, or maybe they're going to the gun range or something. And with Ashleisha, this person could also be, they could have really intense hypnotizing eyes. Something about their eyes could be very luring and like, yeah, seductive. They could have an air of seductiveness about them. I'm pretty sure that this is the kind of person that attracts a lot of attention, to be honest, from the opposite sex, because I'm seeing a lot of like charisma and attractiveness here. So yeah, this is pretty much what I have for you, pile number 1. And I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. And if you have, don't forget to like, subscribe, click on the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. Also comment in the comment section with feedback or ideas that you have for future topics you might like me to cover on this channel. If you are interested in getting a private tarot reading, you can find more information in the video description. I have left my email address there, so you can email me for a pricing list and other information about how to get a reading. I've also left a link in the video description to reviews I have gotten for private readings in case you're curious to see them. Might help you decide if you want to get a reading. And last but not least, I have a astrology channel. So if you're curious about astrology, go ahead and check it out. I will leave the link in the video description. Maybe subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Oh, and aside from that, if you would like to support my channel further, you can do so by clicking on the join button and becoming a member. So this has been it. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye! Welcome, pile number 2. This is your reading if you have chosen this card with number 48 and the world, the underworld, and also this black onyx crystal. I mean, it's so fitting that this card came out for this crystal. Yeah, I'm already getting some Scorpio vibes, but I'm gonna wait to see what the cards show. So this is going to be the card selection phase. If you don't want to sit through it, I'm gonna add timestamps. You can skip directly to your reading. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the people who chose the black onyx. Who is their future spouse, Spirit? Who is this person that they're going to marry next? Wow, jumping cards here. For some reason, I'm getting that song from Anastasia, the old Disney movie. Dancing bears, painted wings, things I barely remember. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up. Wow, 10 of Swords, 6 of Wands, the Empress, 2 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. Who is pile number 2's future spouse? Who is pile number 2's Who is this person that pile number 2 is going to marry next? Tell me, Spirit. Tell me, Spirit, who is pile number 2 going to marry next? Yeah, this one feels right. Okay, we have the Chariot. We have the Strength card. We have 6 of Swords. The Knight of Cups. The 8 of Swords. Ooh, the 2 of Cups. Okay, let me get some oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. Who is pile number 2's future spouse? Tell me, Spirit. Tell me who is pile number 2's future spouse. Who is pile number 2's future spouse? Sorry about the background noises. There's some party going on in the neighborhood or some concert or something. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. Who is their future spouse? Who is pile number 2's future spouse? Okay, just came out. So, let's see. We have... Oh, Wolverine. Oh my god, look at this. Wow, I haven't seen this card before, and it's hello. We also have the underworld. I feel like there's a common theme here. Okay, we have 40, 48. This boils down to a number 12 in numerology. That's Jupiter. I'm already wondering about Purva Bhadrapada, but I'm going to see. Purva Bhadrapada is an nakshatra in Vedic astrology, but I'm going to see what the rest of the cards and stuff is going to show. Oh, wow. Well, we have the fox and the ivy. I mean, technically, yes, this Wolverine thing kind of looks like, okay, it's supposed to be like a wolf, but it kind of looks like a fox because of the color. Okay, and we also have number 27 here, which is a number 9. That's Mars energy. And we have letting go. Okay, letting go. Actually, let me put it like this. So, pile number 2. Oh gosh, it's not fitting in. I'm going to put it here. So, pile number 2. This person is intense. This person is intense, and right at the moment, oh, I'm seeing very strong Mars energy, potentially strong Ketu energy. So getting Aries, Scorpio archetypes here. Very strong Scorpio with the underworld. But I'm also potentially getting Purva Bhadrapada. I'm really curious if that's going to come out at the end when I pull the astrological notes. But yeah, this person is really intense, really, really intense. And at the same time, very romantic. Look at this. You know what I'm getting here? This is someone that you're going to meet when you let go of the past. I'm getting this as a pretty strong message for most of you. Because we have the Two of Wands here in the past. Two of Wands and the Dreamer with the Knight of Cups. So actually I can see this in 2 potential interpretations. Either this is someone that you have had a past with. So this could be someone from the past that is coming back. That could be the thing. But actually I'm not really seeing like this is someone you were actually romantically involved with for most of you. I feel like this is someone that you may have had an attempt at a relationship, an attempt of a relationship, but it didn't work out. Or maybe there was some kind of an attraction from either one of your parts, maybe both of you, but somehow you were not able to have a relationship. This is what I'm getting here. I'm also seeing this person is very romantic and very focused on having an equal partnership. An equal partnership, and also yeah, I'm seeing mutual attraction. I feel like you're both going to be in love, like very much in love with one another. There's also a lot of Venus energy coming through, a bit of the moon energy as well. But this person right now, like at the moment when you're seeing this reading, this person is not in a good place. Like literally the first thing that comes to my mind is this could be someone who has had an accident. Either in like recent history or at some point in their lives, they have gone through some kind of a significant accident. If it wasn't an accident, it could be like some kind of a physical ailment that has led to significant transformation. But this person in recent history has had some kind of, has hit rock bottom. They have gone through like hell and back. But this person is also very resilient. So I'm seeing someone who is like winning after a long struggle. And I also see someone who doesn't give up. Like, I don't want to be dramatic, but I'm getting kind of like gladiator vibes here. Like, what was his name? Maximus? That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. Or if you want to be Wolverine, Wolverine would work as well. This is, yeah, a lot of Mars energy as well. So very strong fighting spirit. But also very idealistic and romantic. This is also a person who teaches, maybe. Like, they could be like a teacher. They are someone who, wow, I'm getting a very strong message of someone who could be like a spiritual teacher. Even if this is not literally a spiritual teacher, this is someone who likes to share wisdom. You know, they are someone who has gone through some kind of significant transformation. I feel, especially when it comes to their mentality. And they want to preach, you know, healing. They want to preach spirituality. They want to share their wisdom with the world, and they're also really generous with their resources in general. So it could be that they give money to charity, or they are involved in the community very strongly. This is someone who's highly idealistic, and they're very self-motivated as well, very driven, very, very smart, very intellectual. And yeah, for most of you, I feel like this is a new relationship. So even if this is someone that maybe you have already met, this is someone you haven't had a romantic relationship with. I'm not seeing this. Like, I mean, I'm more strongly seeing it that this is someone you haven't had a romantic relationship with. For others of you, for a smaller percentage, it is a situation where it's someone from the past and you're having a second try at the relationship. But see how that resonates. So if the characteristics that I have associated with this person sound familiar, it could be that this is someone from the past. But wait until I finish the reading, because I'm going to keep getting more indicators. All right. Let me get some astrological notes. I mean, cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. Who is pile number 2's future spouse? 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 Spirit, tell me. Sixth house, work and routine. Third house, communication and interaction. Pluto, okay, the ruler of Scorpio. And the god of the underworld. And we also have Neptune, dreams and spirits, so strong confirmations. And we have the second house, resources and values. So the houses could show areas of this person's life that are very prominent, but they can also show how you met this person or how you will meet this person. So with the second house, this person could be working in a family business, or they could be working in the same line of work as one of their parents or someone in the family. They could also be working with their voice a lot. We have third and second house, so their voice is very important somehow. They could communicate a lot. So again, this could be like a teacher. Third house is also a strong indicator that this person is self-employed. Well, actually it goes both ways with this group, because we have the third and the sixth house. So this one is about self-employment. This one is about being employed. So yeah, it could go either way, but we're going to see what other indicators I get. I feel like it's mostly people who are self-employed, but again, could also be employees. Whichever the situation may be, this is someone who's very service-oriented, so they want to do good in society. They are also someone who's really competitive with the sixth house, so they could be someone who maybe even has to compete or has to deal with a lot of enemies in order to progress in their career. They could be like a competitive athlete or something where they have to compete in order to make money, for instance. The sixth house is also about health, so they could be in any branch of medical science. They could also be working with animals. But with the sixth house, this also shows that this person likes a routine, you know, so they like things to be steady and predictable for the most part. Third house is also showing that this person could be working online. This could also show that you meet this person online, or you could meet this person through your daily habits, you know, your errands, like whatever it is that are like your daily activities. This could be how you meet this person, for instance, you know. So you can meet this person through, I don't know, like let's say you take a certain route to work, to the office every day. This could be how you meet this person on that route. Or let's say you go to the same cafe every Saturday. This could be how you meet this person, you know. So anything that constitutes a routine could be how you meet this person. Any situation where you are dealing with pets or where you are taking care of your health, this could also be how you meet this person. So you could meet at the gym, at the doctor's office, for instance. And with the second house, yeah, the voice. See, with the second house, I often get this feeling, and I'm getting it right now, that it could be like for the first time you met this person, you actually heard their voice. Like you heard their voice before you actually saw them, which is like a weird detail, but it could be for some of you. Also with Pluto, this person, so like I said, they could be really intense. They could be really mysterious. They could be working in some kind of line of work where there's a lot of secrecy involved. Maybe they're working with sensitive information. This also makes me think of someone who's involved with psychotherapy, for instance, because that's a situation where you have to be very secretive, very private. You have to protect your client's information. But any kind of situation like that where you're dealing with sensitive information could be a line of work that they're in. Anything involving research or transformation of any kind, like for instance, they could be restoring stuff. They could also be working in anything actually related to death, to be honest, you know. They could be involved in something like recycling, you know, or waste management, or not, how should I put it, working with the automotive industry, for instance, on sustainable forms of energy, you know, like working on electric cars, or on the other hand, could also be working with fossil fuels. But, you know, in anything that has to do with the use of natural resources, this could be something they're into. And with Neptune, dreams, and spirit, there could be like this really strong psychic connection between the two of you, but it could also be that this person is highly intuitive. We also have this with the Eight of Swords, and we have it with the Knight of Cups. Also, their hands could stand out. Their voice can really stand out. Their face can really stand out. Their face is like really a good feature for them, you know, like one of their best qualities physically, and they really have a pretty face. Or like that's what you notice about them. Okay, let's see what else. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. Who is this person that pile number 2 is going to marry? Who is their future spouse? Tell me. All right, we have number 4. And we have Leo. And we also have the Sun. Okay. So this person also has some strong Sun energy. Number 4 is also connected to the mother. Can also be connected to real estate. So this person could be into real estate, or again, this could show that they're working from home or they're working on homes, you know, anything connected to real estate, vehicles, the hotel business, maybe architecture, restoring buildings, working in constructions. That could be a thing. Could be the restaurant business. I mean, second house is also connected to food and restaurants as well. So fourth house, so they could be like into a catering business or a restaurant business. Leo and the Sun, this also shows like a leadership ability with this person. So again, I'm leading maybe a little bit more towards someone who's self-employed, or someone who's in some kind of a position of responsibility where they have to oversee several other people at least. This person is also really creative and really confident with this sun energy. They could also be working with the government. They could be working with the government. They could be even politically inclined for some of you. And they're also, like I said, very creative. They could have a flair for the dramatic. They might be particularly interested in dramatic arts. Maybe they're even into acting. And this could also show this person has a broad face. They could have a broad smile. Could have broad shoulders. So everything is broad about them, you know, like, because Leo has this kind of imposing, strong physique. They could also tend to have a bit of a light complexion. So like fair skin, light colored eyes or hair. But of course, within the limits of their genetic inheritance. Let me see what else. Spirit, tell me more about pile number 2, future spouse. Who is this person? Okay. All right. We have a dog. This person could have a dog. Or, yeah, maybe this is just showing that they're very loyal. We also have a skeleton. Well, this sign for toxic, but also a skeleton and bones. So this, again, I mean, there's kind of something really dark here, I have to admit. You know, there's kind of a dark energy with this person. I'm very curious to see what the astrological notes are going to show. But yeah, this person could be having a fascination with the dark side of life, maybe. They could also be really mystical, into occult stuff as well. We also have family, yeah. So family is coming out very strongly in this person's makeup. So this could be that they work with family, they just hold family in very high regard. They could be maybe traditionalists, they want to have a legacy and they want to really stay close to family. They want to have a big family, that's another thing. This to me is just showing something of Asian origin. That's what the best thing that I could, you know, associate it with. So especially East Asian maybe. So yeah, this person could be coming from an Asian country. We also got the corn here. You know, considering the rest of the stuff here, it makes me think of Children of the Corn. I know that it's a horror movie, but I've never seen it. Some people say that it's horrible. But yeah, it makes me think of like something kind of creepy. Like, also makes me think of that movie Signs with Mel Gibson. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm not going to give any spoilers if you want to see it. But it actually, like, even though corn is something really wholesome, you know, in this context, I'm getting something like horror movies, thrillers, something like that. This person could really be into this kind of stuff. We also have a little robot here, so this person could be into technology, I feel. I also think that this person sometimes could maybe be a bit rigid. They want to do things by the book. With the 6th house, I'm also getting that maybe there's a bit of a Virgo energy. You know, like they want every little detail to be exactly right. We also have a snowflake here, which again, I don't want to look at it from a negative light or anything, because I know snowflake has a negative connotation nowadays. But I would say this shows this person maybe is quite sensitive, has a sensitive side. And also the snowflake makes me think of winter, obviously. So it could be that winter is significant for the two of you. Like, that's when you're going to meet. That's when you're going to start dating. Maybe one of you is born in winter. And then we also have the key here. So I feel like with the key, this person is going to open up a lot of doors for you. It could be like after you meet this person, I don't know, like maybe they might even help you figure out your entire life path or something. This person is going to be definitely very significant in your life with this key energy. It's also a huge key compared to the rest of the charms. Yeah, this is what I'm getting. Okay. And now the astrological notes. Let's see. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the people who chose the black onyx. Who is this person they're going to marry, Spirit? Who is pile number 2 going to marry? Tell me, Spirit. Who is pile number 2 going to marry? Who is pile number 2 going to marry? Okay, I think this is enough. We have Jupiter. We have Sagittarius, so a lot of Jupiter, more Jupiter energy because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. We have Taurus, all right. We also have the Moon. Okay, so there's that 4th house energy again. Yeah, this person is really attached to family. What can I say? They could also be very patriotic and attached to their homeland. Uttara Bhadrapada, okay, close enough. Uttara Bhadrapada, yeah, which is ruled by Nagas, which are basically some kind of deities shaped like serpents in Vedic astrology. So there's this mystical energy about them, definitely. They could be into meditation. We also have Jyeshta, okay, falling in Scorpio. There's the Scorpio energy, ruled by Mercury. We have Chitra, which is falling in Virgo and Libra. There's a little bit of Virgo energy as confirmation as well. We also have Revati, falling in Pisces, ruled by Mercury. Oh, bingo, bingo, there it is. Purva Bhadrapada, which I suspected very strongly from the moment that I opened the Underworld card. There we have it. All right, we also have Purva Ashadha. I'm going to break these down in a bit. And we have Ashwini, okay, falling in Aries, ruled by Ketu. So bear in mind that I'm reading for multiple people, so maybe not all of these are going to apply to every single one of you. So I'm just going to try to look at all the different potential interpretations that these energies show. So take whichever energies resonate. And just a quick reminder, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. All right. So like I said, this person is heavily influenced by their family of origin. I'm seeing that they're very attached. They could be particularly attached to their mother, or their mother was very significant in their lives with this moon energy. This also can show that this person can be moody, I have to admit. They could be moody, but they're also very sensitive. So this explains the snowflake coming out as well. You know, this person is really sensitive. They are more vulnerable than they come across. We also have a lot of Jupiter, Sagittarius, and Purva Bhadrapada is also ruled by Jupiter, so I'm not surprised. A lot of Jupiter energy. So this person is very expansive. They probably have a very strong desire for freedom. They have like a higher view of the world, like they have like an eagle's view of the world. They probably are someone who has some kind of a vision for their lives, and they have like lofty ideals. Yeah, very idealistic, like I said, also with the Knight of Cups coming out. Idealistic, and also Taurus coming out, as well as the 2nd house. This is a confirmation that this person has a really pretty face. They could have traditionally pretty features. They could have like nice skin, nice eyes, you know. They could have like really harmonious features, very Venusian. And they could also have like a pretty broad face, squarish jaw, for instance, especially with the sun also coming out. And nice voice, definitely strong confirmation. Also with these energies, the Taurus, the Sagittarius, I feel like for most of you, this person is above average in height with these energies, and they're also very broad, like they have a broad body. A broad body. For some of you, they could also tend towards plumpness with the moon. And all the moon and sun energy definitely shows for most of you, this person has a pretty fair complexion, okay? They're tending towards the paler side of whatever their genetic inheritance is. And they could also have like light colored eyes and light colored hair if that is, again, part of their genetic inheritance. The moon can also show a bit of a roundish face, can have prominent cheekbones, rounded cheeks, you know, can look a bit chubby and soft even. They could have a tendency towards plumpness, like I said. The stomach area could be prominent. They could have a bit of a belly, for instance. And also the chest area, like their chest could really stand out. For both men and women. Like it could be a particularly attractive area, let's say. Revati also coming out together with the moon further confirms that this person loves to travel. They might even travel a lot for work. so they could also be involved in like the hotel business, that, you know, like I think I mentioned that when I picked the number 4. Real estate, yeah, can also be hotel business. So, or maybe they stay a lot in hotels because they need to travel. Revati can also be connected to flying, especially. So they could be in any profession connected to flying, like a stewardess, a pilot, I don't know, working for an airline, could be something like that. They could of course even be like, you know, I don't know, a plane technician, plane engineer, something, anything involving planes, flying. Maybe they just enjoy flying, like in their free time or something. Chitra is showing that this person really cares about their physical appearance. They probably are pretty good looking. I see that not just with Chitra, but also with Revati and Purva Bhadrapada, also a little bit with the Purvashadha and Jyeshta as well. So this person is probably above average good looking. Their eyes could be a bit far apart with the Revati energy. So for instance, Rihanna has ascendant in Revati, just to give an example. Also with Uttara Bhadrapada, the same energy is seen. You know, for instance, I don't remember what her name is. Haley something, not Halle Berry, but Haley Bailey. I don't remember what her name is, but she plays the new mermaid, the new Ariel in The Little Mermaid. She also has strong Uttara Bhadrapada energy. She also has these like wide set eyes. So I think it's Haley. I'm gonna give up. It's Haley something. Anyway, so it could be someone who has wide set eyes is what I'm trying to say. They could have something very dreamy about their eyes. You know, they could look really romantic. And the Chitra energy really shows a strong physique. Also Purva Bhadrapada. So these energies are pretty masculine. Purva Bhadrapada and Chitra especially are very masculine. So just to give you an example, I think Joe Rogan has Moon in Chitra. Pretty sure Edward Norton has a strong Chitra energy as well. Leonardo DiCaprio also has a strong Chitra energy. So Chitra people, also if you're interested in women, what is her name? Scarlett Johansson has Moon in Chitra. Let me think, who else? Can't think of anyone right now. But, you know, Chitra makes a lot of people very attractive. You know, it shows people that really catch the eye. And it also tends to make the body really robust and strong looking. You know, so if this is a woman, a pretty shapely body, they can easily look really strong. And if this is a man, could tend towards muscular, and most likely they care about their appearance. Like there's someone who probably goes to the gym at least semi-regularly and watches what they wear. Chitra is very connected to fashion and anything to do with color and form and videography and stuff like that. So they could be interested in photography, for instance, or making videos and stuff like that. So they could have like an artistic streak. The downside with Chitra is that they could be quite superficial sometimes. Although for most of you, I don't think that this is a superficial person overall, because there's a lot of depth coming through from other areas. It's just that Chitra in particular can be very materialistic and hungry for material success, you know, no matter what the rest of the horoscope shows. And so yeah, they could like glitz and glamour is what I'm trying to say. And with Uttara Bhadrapada, Purva Bhadrapada, this person is, wow, this is actually, I just realized, a very strong confirmation of what I said for some of you, that this person went through a dark phase in their lives. Like Purva Bhadrapada, okay, this is like too complicated to get into here in this video, but I have done more in-depth videos about, haven't done Uttara Bhadrapada yet. I will at some point in the future, but I have done Purva Bhadrapada in a video on my astrology channel called Jupiter's Nakshatras, or Nakshatras of Jupiter. Yeah, and Purva Bhadrapada is like literally connected to something like the underworld. It's a very savage nakshatra. It's connected to you know, gangsters and anyone who's like outside of the law, but it doesn't have to be all negative. You know, it's not like everyone who has placements in this is going to be evil and a criminal. It's just that there's this very strong tendency for them to try to bend the rules a lot of the times, and they can also be two-faced sometimes, in the sense that they keep aside hidden, you know, like they can keep a side of themselves always hidden from the world. They're also very connected to mysticism, you know, mysticism, but also very rough experiences in life. Just to give you an example, like every single actor, almost every single actor in Breaking Bad had very strong Purva Bhadrapada, and it often shows up in horoscopes of people who, you know, when it comes to actors, for instance, people who play really dark characters, you know. And they can be very weird. That's another thing. So, for instance, Grimes has Sun in Purva Bhadrapada. Not Lana Del Rey. Let me think. For instance, Catherine Zeta-Jones has Moon in Purva Bhadrapada, and she often plays these really dark characters. I mean, she's also played this woman who was like a drug lord at some point, and she also played a murderer in Chicago. And she's also played Morticia more recently, Morticia Adams, just to give an example. So Purva Bhadrapada has kind of like a dark sexiness to them a lot of the times. And if this is a man, they can also sometimes show a bit of toxic masculinity. I have to warn you, you know, sometimes. All right, not necessarily. Sometimes they can also be very spiritual. So again, men who have strong Purva Bhadrapada can be Robert De Niro, men who oftentimes play gangsters, you know. Robert De Niro, also the guy who played Walter White. I forgot what his name was. Yeah, loads of pretty manly men have strong Purva Bhadrapada. Also, Machine Gun Kelly has Moon in Purva Bhadrapada, and I don't know if you know Romeo Santos. He also has Moon in Purva Bhadrapada. Yeah, so a lot of also Usher as well. So a lot of like these men who are pretty like manly, traditionally manly, have some pretty strong Purva Bhadrapada. Also, Kanye West. I don't know. I think he has Moon in Purva Bhadrapada. I'm not 100% sure, but he has some strong placement there. So anyway, this could be like the kind of vibe that this person has, some pretty intense vibes. It's also very intense energy, and there could be a slight tendency towards anger issues sometimes. Also with Purvashadha, it's kind of continued in the sense that this person could like to just argue. It's not like they necessarily like drama. It's just that they could be a bit argumentative. You know, also with the 6th house, that's further reinforced. Maybe they really like, maybe this person is like a lawyer because Jupiter is very strong as well. So they could be someone who likes to argue for the sake of arguing. And Jyeshta is a strong indicator that this person is someone who's self-made, someone who, like I said, was not given a silver spoon. I don't know if I said this, but I was thinking it was not raised with a silver spoon at their mouths, you know, someone who has really worked hard for what they have. Even if they were born in, let's say, some kind of a privileged position, they will, how should I put it, supersede. They will, they will outgrow their family's position. So they will take their family's name to even greater heights because of their hard work and their achievements. So yeah, and if they have siblings, they are often looked at as the one to go to for advice. Not just if they have siblings, but like in their family, they could be seen as someone who's like the one who's the most achieved, the most highly successful and worth listening to. Ashwini could be, again, very strong leadership ability. This is also someone who is very motivated, driven, ambitious, very creative as well. Daniel Day-Lewis to me is like the ultimate Ashwini. Someone who's kind of like very independent, waltzes to the beat of their own drum, but they can be very excellent, you know, very good at what they do, their craft, very ambitious, and also having a touch of spiritual, always, like depth. There's a lot of depth to this person. Also with Jyeshta, could show that this person has sleep issues. Maybe they struggle falling asleep, or maybe they work night shifts or something. They could also really like the sea with Purvashadha and Revati, and the moon as well. They could really like the sea. Maybe they live by the sea. They travel by the sea a lot. Or they could really like anything to do with the sea. Maybe they like keeping a fish tank or keeping fish, or they could be really fond of mermaid images. All right, so this is pretty much what I have for you. Pile number... Oh, and also Purva Bhadrapada is a strong confirmation that this person could actually be working with weapons, chemistry, but also most importantly, anything to do with death. Obviously not going to be for everyone. They could also be directly working with finances, you know. Not for everyone, but of course, take it how it resonates. So this is what I have for you, pile number 2. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have, don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel. Click on the notifications bell if you want to see when I will post a new video. Don't forget to comment in the comment section with anything you would like to share about this reading or ideas for future topics that you would like me to cover in the future. If you're interested in a private tarot reading, check out the video description. I have left my email address. You can email me for a list of prices and reading options and further details about how to get a reading. Also, underneath my email address, I have left a link to reviews. I have gotten 4 private readings before. If you are curious to see them, might help you decide if you want to get a reading. If you would like to support my channel further, you can do so by clicking on the join button under any of my videos and become a member for a small monthly fee. And last but not least, as I mentioned, I have an astrology channel and I will be linking that in the video description as well. So if you're curious about astrology, I focus mainly on Vedic astrology, but also with tropical insights because I have more than 20 years of experience in reading horoscopes up until this point. More than 10 years of reading Vedic astrology. I mainly prefer Vedic, but I also have strong insights in tropical. I understand both systems really well. So yes, if you're curious about astrology, go ahead and check it out. Maybe subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye! Welcome, pile number 3. This is your reading if you have chosen this card over here with number 26, the comic, and or this blue calcite crystal. So I'm going to take my time with the shuffling, but I'm going to add timestamps if you want to skip directly to the reading. Okay, Spirit, tell me about pile number 3, the people who chose the blue calcite. Who is their future spouse? Tell me, Spirit, who is pile number 3's future spouse? Who is pile number 3's future spouse? Seven of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, the Star, the Knight of Swords, the Six of Cups, okay. Spirit, what can you tell me for pile number 3, the people who chose the blue calcite? Who is their future spouse? Six of Swords, Five of Wands, King of Cups, Five of Swords, Knight of Cups, and Ace of Wands. All right, let's get some oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3, the people who chose the blue calcite. Who is this person they're going to marry next? Who is their future spouse? Who is pile number 3's future spouse? Tell me, Spirit. Who is pile number 3's future spouse, Spirit? So let's see. We have Meerkat, responsibility, number 16. Yeah, I'm already getting a strong Saturn energy with this person, but 16 boils down to 7, which also makes me think of K2 energy. And we have Be Spontaneous, all right. And we have the Duck and the Chrysanthemum. chrysanthemum. I'm not sure how you should pronounce it, but yeah, it's this flower. Number 10, Saturn, 10th house, luck. All right. Meerkat, this person has strong Saturn energy. Right off the bat, if you felt drawn to pile number 1, you might want to check it out, but only if you felt drawn to it. There might be some messages there for you. Otherwise, you're just going to get all the messages you need from this reading. Right off the bat, what I wanted to say when I got this card with number 26, I already saw the Saturn energy because 26 boils down to a number 8 in numerology. So it's ruled by Saturn. And the comic, you know, this is like, you know what this makes me think of? That aria. I'm not sure from what opera it is. It's called Vesti la Giubba. You know, Vesti la Giubba e la faccia in farina. I don't remember the whole thing, but it's like, it's a very famous aria. So like if you know opera, you know it. And it's about this guy who's a clown, and it's actually bittersweet. Like, I think the story is that he's being cheated on by his wife or girlfriend or something, and he talks about how he has to put on a face and pretend to be happy. And it also makes me think of, you know, how they say that the best comedians have had like the worst childhoods or something like that. I'm definitely, I know for sure that it was true for Robin Williams, who ironically also was a life path number 8, or maybe not so ironically, you know. I mean, just like the 26 over here. So people who go through a lot of hardships, you know, they have a very strong sense of humor, but then they are also holding a lot of, probably holding back a lot of tears and a lot of suffering because, you know, because they have learned to put on a brave face, and they have also learned to mask their suffering with humor to distract people from how they really feel. This is what I'm getting here. So already I'm getting like a sense of heaviness, to be honest, about this reading, more so than the other two readings. And I feel like this message with be spontaneous is actually kind of like a piece of advice for this person. I feel like this person is actually not spontaneous. And we also have more of a number 8 here with the star. Let's see. Okay, no other number 8s, but we have the star with the number 8 as well. So yeah, this person I feel has strong Saturn energy. They could have a prominent 10th house as well. Maybe prominent placements in Capricorn, Aquarius. The star also makes me think of Aquarius because Aquarius is everything to do with technology, and the star is about people who have visibility, for instance, through technology. And this is what I'm getting here, that this person has a lot of heaviness. It's like they could be someone who has been through a lot of painful experiences, and they have really had to hustle. But I don't feel like it's all doom and gloom or anything. I feel like this is someone who basically has almost like a rags to riches story. By the way, the number 8 in numerology is very much connected, and also even in astrology, when you think about the 8th house, there is this theme of rags to riches connected to it. You know, people who come from extreme challenges and a lot of, you know, like humble beginnings and all that, and they slowly and through a grueling, arduous climb make it to the top in life, you know. So yeah, we have the 7 cups and the 6 of swords again. So it shows like literally at the moment when you are watching this reading, this person has just recently moved on from something, you know. So I'm seeing that this person finally is moving into a better situation where they're getting more opportunities and doors are finally opening up for them. And I feel like it's especially connected to career, because for any person who's Saturn dominant, career is like extremely important, if not the most important thing in life for them. They have a very, and it's not necessarily because it's ego driven, you know. For some of them it could be ego driven, but the pure Saturnian is someone who just has this very strong sense of social responsibility. Like they need to focus on, you know, getting something done before they leave this life. And this is the energy that I'm seeing with this person, this very strong sense of responsibility. And if you're leaning more towards the Aquarius energy, where Saturn is also active, you're looking at visionaries who have a mission, like they want to revolutionize something, they want to revolutionize a field, they want to change the way things are done. But it's always coming from like this place of responsibility, this strong feeling of I have something I have to achieve on this planet before I drop dead, you know, and that's like their number one mission in life, their number one pursuit. So this is what I'm seeing with this person. I'm also seeing that this person is like they are building their career, they're building their finances on working with people from very different backgrounds. They could be in some kind of a position where they're working as some kind of a mediator, like a diplomat or something. They maybe not literally a diplomat, but even if they're working in a corporation, they're in a position where they have to communicate very well, and they have to understand different people from different backgrounds. They have to be a good psychologist. They have to bring people together as well, and or they could also be working with a lot of people from different backgrounds, you know, like different cultures. But I also think this person is prone to conflict, or they somehow find themselves in situations of conflict a lot. And again, that's also why I'm saying they could be like a mediator where they have to appease different conflicts and stuff. This person is so romantic. Holy shit. Like, we have Ace of Cups. Yeah, this is why I'm getting the emotional heaviness here. This person has a lot of heaviness. And it's not just coming from the Saturn, because Saturn is not particularly emotional. You know what I just got in my head? There are these lyrics by Fiona Apple in a song that she has. I think it's called First Taste. Yeah. As she says, full is not heavy as empty, my love not nearly. This is what I'm getting here. I don't know why that lyric just came. Yeah, I think this is someone who has like childhood traumas. Like this is someone who's like burdened by something. They may come from a background where they just didn't have a lot of affection. They didn't have a lot of affection. They could actually come from abuse. But for most of them, I'm not necessarily seeing abuse. I'm seeing more like neglect. Most likely neglect because their parents just had to work a lot. Maybe they didn't have time for the kids, and so they grew up with this sense of emptiness, of heaviness, but also being raised with a workaholic mentality where they bury their emotions in their work, you know, like, or they work to avoid their emotions. I wouldn't be surprised if this person has prominent Anuradha placements as well. Anuradha is ruled by Saturn, and it falls in Scorpio. And it's kind of an nakshatra connected to, well, it's connected to a lot of things, but when it comes to relationships, they are prone to be workaholic to avoid matters of the heart, even though deep down they're actually very romantic, but they avoid vulnerability. So yeah, this is what I'm getting here. Like, but this person, like, I'm getting this very strong romantic longing, you know, like this person is probably the kind of person who's traditionally romantic, but they may not show it on the surface, you know. They just dream about, I don't know, like taking their partner on a stroll under the cherry trees in bloom and reading poetry and stuff, but they won't say it. They wouldn't say it in a million years. Yeah, this is what I'm getting. I don't know why I'm laughing, but like, I'm laughing because, again, I'm getting some songs in my head, but I'm going to shut up with the songs because I might be annoying some people. What I'm seeing here also, this person is moving away from a desire for attention. Wow, this is like the psychological journey of someone who is healing their wounds. It's so nicely depicted here. This is someone who is bound to become self-aware, you know, and I feel like, again, at the moment when you when you meet them, and when you see this, sorry, not when you meet them, when you see this reading, this person is going through the process of understanding themselves and moving away from this compulsion to gain validation and attention from others and obsessing about it. I feel like this could have been something that was the main thing that they thought about, you know, getting attention, success, validation, visibility, maybe even fame. This could have been a person who wanted fame, you know, and now they're kind of moving away from that. It either could be because maybe they achieved some level of fame, and they just realized it wasn't doing much for them, or it could just be because they're finally realizing that this compulsion was coming from their lack of affection and lack of attention that they got as a child. So I kind of like this person. This is someone who's emotionally mature. This is someone who is healing and moving on. Like, definitely not a narcissist, all right? I'm actually getting someone like Robin Williams potentially here. I mean, I don't know the kind of person he was in private, but Robin Williams seemed like the kind of person who had this very soulful side, you know. And I'm sure he wasn't perfect, not trying to idealize him, but he definitely had some level of self-awareness, and you could tell from the way that he talked about himself and his childhood and all that, even when he tried to mask it with jokes. So this is like kind of a vibe. Maybe this person could also have placements in Sata Bishak Nakshatra. So again, I'm going to see that when I get to the astrological notes. And yeah, this person is also very passionate though. Like, they're very driven. We have the Knight of Swords and we have the Knight of Cups underneath. And the King of Cups here. Wow. Yeah, I think I said Knight of Cups when I got here, but the King of Cups. Lot of cups. Again, strong water energy that is Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. You know, so energies that are very watery, very emotional, have a lot of depth, you know, have emotional intelligence and want to understand psychology and want to understand how people function, and also have like a natural ability to understand psychology, you know. So this person is very passionate, very driven. They have a nice blend between intuition, emotional maturity, and also being intellectually very sharp. And they could also have a sharp tongue, I have to say that. You know, they could be someone who doesn't hold back when they really want to say something, even to the point where they might hurt other people's feelings. Very, very passionate. And also with the Ace of Wands and the Six of Cups, wow. Like, such a strong message of healing here. Six of Cups is like healing the inner child. You know, it's about healing the inner child. It's about healing the childhood wounds. It is about this person going back. Another song that comes to my head, I have to say it, is Return to Innocence by Enigma. It's a song that I still love, and I've loved it for the past, I don't know how many years, over 20 years, definitely. Anyway, you can search for that song, you know what I'm talking about, to get the vibe, just to get the vibe. And this is the kind of energy that this person has, like return to innocence. You know, this person's like healing, letting go of the traumas, and going back to who they were originally meant to be before society and their family basically tried to mess them up with bad experiences, with God knows, you know, what exactly they went through, traumas, criticisms, so on and so forth. Things that were meant to stifle their spirit and their natural creativity and their individuality, you know. A lot of fire energy as well with the Ace of Wands, and extreme passion. Like, this person is very passionate. And see, here's the thing. They start out being workaholic, but I see that by the end, the outcome is someone who becomes very, very passionate, you know, and the opposite of like emotionally crippled. But someone who learns not to be afraid to feel their emotions, and also to speak their emotions, I feel like, to show their feelings, I mean. But it might take a while, I will say that. I wouldn't be able to say how long this takes. Obviously, this is reading for a lot of people, so different people could be at different stages of development. But this is the general vibe that I'm seeing here, the general journey of this person. Luck with the number 10. Yes. They could also be really lucky in career. So, I mean, not just because they're workaholic. They could really be given some good opportunities and have a good career. But this person is like not solely focused on career. You know, it's like, this is what I'm seeing actually, that they start out being obsessed with career, eventually realize that their main reason for obsessing was lack of emotion and validation when they were a child, lack of affection maybe, and attention, and they move to a more spiritual attitude, and not necessarily that they no longer care about career, but they will be more focused on doing something that is authentically them, you know, like things that they are really passionate about, and also being true to themselves, you know, as opposed to caring so much about what other people expect from them. Really nice. Like, I'm really liking this person's energy. Anyway, so wow, like I just realized that I have spent way more time on this pile than the other ones. The other ones are gonna get jealous, okay? But it's just that this person's story is very compelling. What can I say? Okay, so let me get some astrological cards now to see more about this person. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. Who is this person? That pile number 3 is gonna marry. Who is this person in pile number 3 is going to marry? Who is this person in pile number 3 is going to marry? Tell me, Spirit. Who is pile number 3, the blue calcite, going to marry? Tell me, Spirit. Yeah, this one. 11th house, community and technology. That's Aquarius energy. We have Aries. That's the Knight of Swords. Combative. We have 2nd house, resources and values. We have Pisces, the dreamer. The Knight of Cups and the King of Cups. And we have 1st house, self and identity. Okay, that's the Ace of Wands energy with this. It's so cool that they have the ram here, which makes me think of 1st house, because 1st house corresponds to Aries. And we also have Aries coming out. So Aries could be also very prominent in this person's energy. But that doesn't have to be the case. I feel like it's more about the transformation that this person is going to go through in their lifetimes. Yeah, and the 2nd house makes a lot of sense. Like, this could be someone who goes through a lot of pressures from their family of origin. They could also be working in a line of work, or at least at some point they have worked in the same line of work as someone from their family, maybe one of their parents. They could have also worked in a family business. And they also use their voice a lot, so they could also have a really nice voice. They could also be working with food, so anything to do with food, like a dietitian, a cook, something like that. And they could also be working directly with money, so directly in finances, for instance, savings, banking, stuff like that, accounting. The 1st house coming out strongly with Aries. This also shows this person is very physical, so they could be very, very physical. They probably have a lot of physical energy also with the Ace of Wands. It is confirmed here. So they probably need a physical outlet on a regular basis, meaning they engage in sports. They're probably very passionate in the bedroom as well. So there's a lot of physicality here. Someone who likes to really move their body. The 11th house is the house of gains, and it's also the house of large audiences. This is very much a confirmation of the Star card. I feel like this person is definitely someone who has a strong visibility, or at least has had at some point in their lives. Or maybe they need to have a strong visibility in order to make money somehow. Like maybe they're advertising services online, for instance. They could be like a YouTuber, someone who has a strong media following, something like that. They're very romantic, like I said, with the Pisces energy. Very, very romantic. But on the surface, they might come across as more tough and shut down. Especially if you meet them when they're not really done with their whole healing process. But they're very romantic, very sensitive. Yes. Okay, let me get some more stuff. Spirit, Oh, and they can also be working in anything to do with the physical body. Also, with the first and the 11th house coming through, this shows that this person has a lot of visibility. Again, I would not be surprised if for some of you, this person is very well known within the community. They could even be like low-key famous, because somehow it's like they're using their body, their personality to make a living, you know? And they could also be like working on the physical body. So, like a personal trainer, for instance, or yeah, something, maybe an athlete working with the physical body, you know. And their physical body also can stand out. They can be really strong and muscular and just fit. Okay, let me get the dice. Spirit, tell me more about pile number 3. Who is this person that they're going to marry? Tell me. Okay, we also have the number 7, which is the house of Libra. We have Mercury. And we also have Cancer. So yeah, Cancer is more water energy. Makes sense that this person is sensitive. Mercury is showing that this person is very good at communication. They could also be into business. Their hands could stand out. They maybe use their hands a lot to communicate. Their style of communication could really stand out. They're very social as well. Also, with the 11th house coming out, it could show they are very, so they have like an extended network of friends and acquaintances, popularity maybe, or they're just working with large audiences. Maybe this is someone who does public speaking. And the 7th house shows that this person can be, like I said, this is a strong confirmation that they might be a mediator or someone who uses a lot of diplomacy in their work on a regular basis, because the 7th house is about working with people. It's also about audiences, by the way, like addressing an audience. So this person could be in any position where they're addressing an audience. Wow, they could be like a social media person, influencer or something like that, where they definitely communicate a lot, and they could also be working in a business. So they could have their own business because they have the 2nd house, the Mercury energy. So these are very business oriented energies, and the 1st house is also very independent. And the Cancer energy can also show, again, it's a confirmation that the family is strong in this person's life. So especially the mother could be particularly strong, like they're really influencing maybe their lives, maybe. Or again, they work in the same line of work as their parents. Maybe they're carrying on like a family business. That could be a thing. And 7th house, again, they could be also any kind of profession where they work with people in one-to-one situations, like a consultant, a therapist. Again, 7th house is also a business house. They could be in a partnership-based business. And they could also be working anything with contracts, you know, consultants, something like that. Yeah, but I'm getting like repeated messages that this person has a certain amount of visibility. Okay, let's see what else. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. Who is this person's future spouse? Who is this person's future spouse? Who is pile number 3's future spouse? Okay. Wow, okay, one just fell out. It fell out. This one with the ... Maybe this person is someone who's very secretive, very hard to get to know. This could also indicate to me that this is someone you're not going to hit it off with right away. Like, there could be a break. What the heck was that? I think that's an owl. Anyway. So this could be a person that, let's say you meet them, but then you don't hit it off right away. You don't start a relationship right away. There could be like a period of time between the time you meet them for the first time and the time that you actually start dating. What in the name of Jesus? Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's an owl, but I'm getting a little bit scared. Anyway, this is a sword. Okay, this is a confirmation of the Knight of Swords. Okay, this person has a very strong personality. Also, the Aries energy So this person is very potentially aggressive also. They're very driven, and they can also be pretty blunt, like I said, sharp tongue as well. Even though I think that for the most part, this person knows how to be diplomatic and be self-contained. But I think they can also have a sharp tongue sometimes, especially if you cross them. And they definitely have a very competitive side. And we also have the helmet here. Oh my god, there's so much Aries energy. Oh my god, so much Aries energy. Yeah. This person has a lot of fighting spirit. We also have a turtle. And we have a mermaid here. Wow, I love this mermaid charm. So, the mermaid charm to me, and okay, the turtle is just showing me more Saturn energy. I feel like it makes me think of the tortoise and the hare, even though turtle and tortoise are not the same thing, but that's what it makes me think of, like someone who believes that slow and steady wins the race. And the mermaid makes me think that this person is very seductive. Like this person, yeah, this confirms the star energy and all of this, these other energies that suggest they might be in the limelight somehow. Like this person really knows how to charm other people. Like other people notice them. They have a strong presence. And they could be also very mysterious and very romantic as well, because let's not forget we also have a lot of Pisces energy. That's definitely mermaid energy. Like, you know, the thing about mermaids, the myth behind them is that they appear to each person as what that person covets the most, you know. So when it was sailors, they appear to be beautiful maidens needing to be rescued, and that's how sailors jumped to their deaths, you know, and got drowned and eaten or whatever by the mermaids. But that's the idea, you know. So this person could be the kind of person that a lot of people project their fantasies on for some reason. And we also have a little dog, like maybe this person has a dog, or it could just show that they could be very loyal. We also have family coming out, very strong confirmation. This person is very attached to their family, or just they care a lot about family in general. We also have beautiful, so yeah, this person could be really beautiful. And of course, they could also just like to beautify things, or they like the finer things in life. And we also have hope. Yeah, so this person, this looks like a pretty beautiful soul for the most part to me, at least based on the indicators that I'm getting so far, even though they have their faults. And yeah, we have a cat as well. So again, they could have a cat. Maybe they have a cat and a dog. Maybe they just really like animals. All right, this is what I'm seeing. Now let me get some astrological notes. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 3? Who is this person in pile number 3 is going to marry? Tell me, Spirit, who is this person pile number 3 is going to marry? No, I'm not feeling it. Wow, a lot of notes. We have Leo. We have Cancer again, so like pretty strong moon energy. We have Ketu. I was just thinking when I got the cat and the dog, Ketu is dogs, Rahu is cat, so I wonder if I'm going to get both. We have Scorpio, not surprising at all, very strong confirmation. We have Capricorn, so Scorpio and Capricorn are the main energies that I saw right off the bat. Saturn. We also have Mars, very strong confirmation. So Mars rules Scorpio and Aries. Ketu also rules Scorpio in Vedic astrology. And we have Libra, again, very strong confirmation. Very, very strong. Okay. We also have Chitra, which is falling in Virgo and Libra, ruled by Mars. So this person could have prominent Chitra energies. We also have Bharani. All right. I can't wait to unpack this. Falling in Aries, ruled by Venus. We have Ashwini. Falling in Aries, ruled by Ketu. So much Aries, so much Mars. Like I said, Mars is the strongest energy with this person. We have Maga falling in Leo, ruled by Ketu. Here is the fame. This person is definitely famous to some extent. I would be very surprised if this is not someone who is... at least on a local level. Like they have some amount of visibility. Maybe they have a business, everyone knows who they are. We have Kritika ruled by the sun. This is also confirmed with the Knight of Swords, the sharp tongue. Oh my god, here we have it. Satabhishak Nakshatra. You know, Robin Williams also had strong Satabhishak Nakshatra. I don't remember exactly, but I am pretty sure he had his moon in Satabhishak. It was like the moon or the sun, but I'm pretty sure it was the moon, which in Vedic astrology is like the strongest energy that a person has. And Ardra, wow, I'm not surprised like at all. Like, these are such strong confirmations that this person has had a rough journey through life, because I've actually done a video specifically about Satabhishak on my astrology video, which I will be linking in the video description if you're curious about it. So you can search for that video there. I actually titled it Satabhishak. I don't remember exactly, but something about the wounded healer or something like that. But it's basically similar to Chiron in tropical astrology, if you're familiar with it. There's the archetype of wounded healers connected to this nakshatra. So people who just suffer a lot in life, and because of their suffering, they learn to understand their suffering, and therefore it makes them very good healers. Like, it makes them understand how to heal other people who have similar problems. And Satabhishak oftentimes really goes through a lot of suffering, you know, in life. For instance, Kurt Cobain also had strong Satabhishak Nakshatra. Like, a lot of people, unfortunately, who I guess went through a lot of suffering, a lot of traumas of different kinds, they have prominent Satabhishak, especially the ones who, and they also can be very popular, very easily influence the masses because of their energy in Aquarius and their ability to really touch other people's feelings, because they can talk about heavy stuff and make it relatable in a way. Yeah. So I'm seeing very strong indicators that this person is popular, that they have some kind of visibility. But let me try to break down everything that I see here, because again, I mentioned this as a disclaimer. Not everyone is going to have all of these energies, because this is a general reading. But I'm going to try to look at all the different potential information. And before I go on, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I will mention that. All right, thank you. And let's see. We have Capricorn, Scorpio. These were the ones that I saw right off the bat. So like I said, a lot of emotional heaviness, but also a lot of determination. Mars coming out, Capricorn coming out, is just showing how strong Mars is in this person's horoscope. We also have the 10th house. So, Capricorn is literally the 10th sign. So it also corresponds to the 10th house, which is about career and social responsibilities and social karma. So this person is very driven to succeed career-wise. And Mars is also exalted in Capricorn, and it has maximum divisional, not divisional, I forgot what the word was. Directional, that's the word. Directional strength in the 10th house. So this is just further confirming how strongly Martian this person is. Meaning warrior archetype. Mars is the warrior archetype, you know, survivalists, people who are very logical, very strategic, very ambitious. Also, it's a very masculine energy. And contrary to popular belief, Mars is not actually usually a very slutty energy. It's actually a lot more focused on preserving its sexual energy in order to win the war. So they can actually have a lot of discipline. This is also why Mars is also connected to the military and stuff like that. And we also have Kritika on top of that, which further emphasizes this. So this person could have a very strong fighting spirit, a lot of masculine energy as well. We also have a lot of Aries going on. And Ardra is also a very savage nakshatra, and it's oftentimes connected to childhood traumas as well. Again, I'm not going to get in depth with all of these because it's going to take me forever. So yeah, you might want to check out my astrology channel for more information on these different nakshatras, as I have mentioned many of them in other videos in my astrology channel. And yeah, again, I'm going to link my astrology channel in the video description so you can check it out. And Bharani is a lot of, oh my god, Bharani is like the strongest confirmation actually of emotional heaviness. This nakshatra, it's literally translated as the bearer. and it's ruled by the elephant yoni, which shows its emotional heaviness. It's about the burden of reproduction. Like, it's connected to childbirth. It's connected to like, for instance, birthing something. You know how it's often a painful process, but it's like also at the same time, well, worth it, because otherwise the world would have gone extinct. Interrupted a bit. So where was I? Yeah. So Barney, there's this sense of heaviness. There's also a sense of morality with this person. So I feel like this could be someone who has a very strong sense of right and wrong. And they could even be involved in the legal system, because I just realized this. We have the 7th house, we have Libra. So yeah, this person could be someone in a position where they argue pros and cons and stuff. The Maga, like I said, is showing that this person could be really proud of their origin. They could also be really interested in things like genetics and history. And they're probably here to burn some kind of a family karma as well. And Magha is also very physical oftentimes. So this is also a confirmation that this person could be really athletic or, yeah, really into sports. Ardra, the same. Really, I mean, Ardra can also be very intense, very aggressive, and have anger issues, because oftentimes Ardra is also connected to traumas, but not always. But then on the other hand, Ardra is also very sensitive, you know, and very, like, ahead of their time a lot of the times. You know, they can be borderline brilliant and difficult to understand. And they can seem really detached emotionally on the surface, but they actually have really intense emotions. They can also be some kind of a childlike energy connected to them. And they can also be very funny. Like, Ardras can be very funny because, again, traumas and humor go hand in hand. But again, we'll not expand on that in this video because it's going to take forever. But just to give you some examples of people who have prominent Ardra, just think of Jodie Comer, for instance, who plays Villanelle in Killing Eve. Gary Oldman has ascendant in Ardra, if you want to get a visual of physical appearance. Generally, Ardra, because of the energy of Gemini and because of this nakshatra, they have very big expressive eyes. They can really show a huge range of emotion with their eyes. They can also seem a bit mischievous and playful at times, but they can also be terrifyingly angry other times, and hopefully you won't get to see that face. But they can be very expressive to the point where they don't have a poker face. Usually the eyes are the most prominent part of their face, and they have very emotional eyes. Like, they can really express a lot of emotions just with their eyes. And for instance, Clara Bow actually had Moon in Ardra, and she also had a very traumatic childhood if you get into it. Rudolph Valentino, who was a famous film star, silent film star, also had prominent Ardra. He actually had Mars in Ardra, just like Jodie Comer, conjunct with Jupiter as well. And he was also very expressive. That's why he became so famous. And he was also, like, known for this aura of unpredictability, which is typical with Ardra. Also, Emilia Clarke, who played Khaleesi in Game of Thrones, very likely, not 100% because her time of birth is not known, but I would say very, very likely has Moon in Ardra. Okay, just to give you some examples. And with Ashwini, I said this, I think this came out in another pile, but I don't remember which one exactly. I always say with Ashwini, Daniel Day-Lewis, this is, like, to me, the ultimate Ashwini energy. So these people can be very intense and very dedicated towards their passions, but they're also very deep and mysterious. And they have strong independence, strong leadership ability as well. Bharani can also give this person sometimes a slightly melancholic appearance. I always mention with Bharani that they tend to have, like, downward sloping eyes a lot of the times, or eyes that show emotional heaviness. So they can have a bit of a brooding aura about them. For instance, Halle Berry has ascendant in Bharani. Vivian Lee had ascended in Barney. They could also be very sensuous and very beautiful, by the way, because it's ruled by Venus. Lana Del Rey has Venus conjunct Rahu in Barney, and they could have like this dark, sultry look about them as well, but also kind of slightly depressed sometimes. And Pedro Pascal also has prominent Barney. Carl Jung had prominent, I'm pretty sure that he had Moon in Barney. Edgar Casey, who was a famous psychic, also had, I think, Moon in Barney, if I'm not mistaken. Jordan Peterson has some Barney energy. I forgot exactly what placement, but I'm sure that he has some Barney energy. Let me think. Who else? A lot of people have Barney energy. But what I'm saying is there's this kind of heaviness about them. Also, I'm pretty sure that Antonio Banderas also has some strong Barney energy. Last time I checked. Pretty sure, but I'm not gonna say 100% because I don't remember exactly. But yeah, this is pretty much what I'm getting. So Barney can have this emotional heaviness. Sometimes Barney can also somehow be connected to trauma, honestly. Especially themes of incest, to be honest. Especially Barney and Ardra, both of them kind of have a messed up theme of potential incest of some form. And yeah, again, I'm not saying that this is going to be everyone's case, but there could be some kind of traumas connected to weird sexual boundaries in this person's childhood or something. And Chitra makes this person really stand out. They're probably very good looking. Kritika as well. So there's a lot of like intense masculine energy, but also a lot of sensitivity here, you know. And Kritika is also very masculine. Like, usually Kritika men and Chitra men attract a lot of attention from women because they're like typical macho types, you know. Chitra can also sometimes be superficial in the sense that they really pursue material success, sometimes at the expense of everything else, which makes sense considering the rest of the cards that I saw for this person. So they could start out as being really superficial and eventually kind of become more emotionally mature and start to understand what the underlying motivation was. And Chitra can also mean that this person can be passionate about photography, fashion, videography, you know, anything that's kind of glitz and glamour. And Kritika can also show they're good with weapons. They could be interested in weapons, maybe even working in something, like I said, military, police. And they could also like cooking or working with fire and somehow, in some way, anything involving with heat, fire, or something like that. And Satabishak can be a healer. So oftentimes Satabishak shows up in the horoscopes of people who are doctors, for instance, you know, or people who are spiritual teachers because they learn about spirituality through their own suffering and then they teach others. So that could be a thing. It's also sometimes called the nakshatra of 1,000 physicians to the gods or something like that. Or, yeah, I think it was 1,000 physicians. I was thinking, was it 1,000 or 100? Anyway, something like physicians to the gods. It's very much connected to medical science. So that could be something they're active in. Ardra also connects to animals a lot. So this person could, oh my God, didn't I say animals? Holy shit. Very strong confirmation. So yeah, this person could very much be connected to animals. Maybe they work with animals. Maybe they really love animals. They could really love nature. They could like to spend time in forests. But they could also be equally tech savvy, interested in technology. Another example of Ardra is Mila Jovovich. Mila Jovovich has ascended in Ardra. So they often have this top-heavy face with very prominent eyes and, you know, kind of a youthful appearance. They tend to look young for long periods of time. Just to give you some visuals here. And yeah, this person is very spiritually wise, is what I'm seeing. And yeah, this is pretty much what I'm seeing for you. Pile number 3. I hope you have enjoyed this reading. I thought it was really interesting. And if you have, don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, click on the notifications bell if you want to see when I will post a new video. And if you would like to find out more about personal readings, check out my email address that I have left in the video description. You can email me for a pricing list and other information like reading options and so forth. If you're curious to see reviews that I have gotten for private readings, you can also check out the video description. I've left a link there to a blog post where you can see the reviews. It might help you decide if you want to get a reading from me. And also, I think I mentioned this, but I will mention it again. Please comment in the comment section with any feedback you would like to give, ideas for future topics that you have. If you would like to support my channel further, click on the join button under any of my videos, and you can support me through a small monthly fee. And last but not least, I have an astrology channel, as I have mentioned, which I will be linking in the video description. And I focus mainly on Vedic astrology. I've been into Vedic astrology for more than 10 years now. And in astrology, I've been interested in astrology for more than 20 years up until this point. So I use a lot of tropical insights as well, because I'm very familiar with tropical astrology as well, but I prefer Vedic. So if you're curious about astrology, go ahead and check it out. Maybe subscribe to my astrology channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading.